This is Anderson Penn's podcast episode 192 for Tuesday, May 10th, 2016. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
It's the Anderson Penn's Radio Network.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
No, I am. It's fine. It's like, oh, wait, I don't have the chat up, and I've got, I'm good.
After all this time that I've been screwing around, you're not ready. Okay.
I was busy.
Okay.
So, anyway, hey, everybody. Was it only last week we were talking about Chicago?
Yes. Last week we had Aziza and SBRE Brown on the podcast.
That's right. Well, last week we briefly chatted that Brian bought me a Lamy Safari, and so I don't think that I showed it. Did I?
No, because I think it was on the kitchen table, where all good pen purchases should be.
Either your desk or the kitchen table. So anyway, this orange Lamy with the red clip is what I came home with from Chicago.
And I just want to make it known that Lisa brought the only pen home from the show. So
this time. Doesn't usually happen that way.
I sense a little
and
something.
It came in this cool little box.
Oh yeah.
What did you learn about this?
That is according to Bob, it is the second hardest special edition to find.
This is the Flame, I believe.
The Flame, yeah, it's on the edge of the end of the box there.
Yep, it's on the back.
After the turquoise with the red clip, it's the second hardest one to find, supposedly.
It's a cute little box, though. So anyway, that's my excitement. Brian had some excitement today. We figured we'd talk about it.
Are we going to talk about Mother's Day?
Oh, yeah. Mother's Day was awesome. So. We're going to lead into Brian's folly.
It's not folly.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope you all, those of you who celebrate, I hope you all had a good Mother's Day, or at least a good Sunday. Brian actually made me breakfast, and he'd been torturing me with talk of a surprise for the past several days. And I don't like surprises, so I tried everything to get him to tell me, and he wouldn't. So Mother's Day dawned, Brian made me breakfast, we took a ride in the Corvette, and we went for a really, really lovely, relaxing, restful 4-mile hike in the woods. It was actually a really nice stroll. We had a good time. Held hands, got to see some horses, some people riding their bikes. It was really, really nice. And then we finished that. That took a while, but it was nice. It's part of how long is it? It's like 25-mile trail.
Yeah, it's 25 miles north to south.
So we did a small portion of that. Finished up, what did we do? We went to the office and we moved my desk because that's fun.
Happy Mother's Day. How did Eric put it? Happy Mother's Day. Now here, hold this desk.
Yeah, I wanted it moved, and so we did. And then we came home. I ran to Target, ran some errands, and while I was gone, Brian and my son Garrett put our summer patio set outside and assembled put all the tile in the table, got all the chairs out, put the umbrella in the table. It was awesome. And Brian mowed the yard. So
I'm still sore, by the way. So
so all of that was done while I was at Target. Either you're really fast or I took a while, or both. Sometimes it's nice just to get out. And then we had a really nice, healthy dinner. It was just very relaxing, very, very low key, and that's what I wanted. So it was really good. And I hope that whatever you all did was what you wanted: good, bad, chaotic, exciting, etc.
Cool.
What's your take on our little stroll?
I thought it was nice. I haven't been to that trail in a long time, so no pens were found, unfortunately. And actually, I did not bring a pen.
I didn't even notice that.
So I didn't have a watch. I think I looked at my phone once just to see what time it was, but so anyway.
Yeah. It was just really a rare, relaxing, no digital kind of time.
So, of course, then that leads into this week. So I got an email this morning from a gentleman who was coming to town, and he wanted to sell a few things. And so I'm honest, like I am with everybody that comes in and says they want to buy something. And usually I try to, if it's of interest, we buy it, we come to an agreement. If not, I usually advise people where they can sell things, how much things go for. A gentleman came in, and he's been in the shop several times, and had a briefcase and 3 large boxes with him. So
I wish I'd seen that.
Yeah, he actually almost left the briefcase because there was this big. I mean, it was all on the 1 6-foot case right by the sailors, and it was just end to end. And this will turn into a quick. And I think we may have talked about buying larger lots of pens before.
Maybe.
But it's, after 192 episodes, I think we can repeat this one. But anyway, so I looked at what the gentleman had to offer, and it was some really some okay stuff. Nothing super high end, but everything there was very clean, nice, good condition. We came to. Yeah, most of it has never been used. That's correct. Still in the original boxes. And we'll get to those in a minute. But we came to an agreement, and that was that. So let's see if I can bring it over here. I totally forgot to get this set up.
Brian's going to try and skip over the stuff that I found out about at the end.
Well,
he bought pens, and he bought more pens, and then there were a couple little somethings.
I wanted to hit you with the high points first. Forgive me while I reach down.
What are you doing over there?
Well, I'm grabbing all the boxes. So I'll start with the semi-vintage first. See this really weird mustard
I had the hardest time getting that open, and it's so simple. I think it was. I
don't know what you were doing.
I don't know what I was doing.
But Parker 75, all gold filled.
And the nib on that.
I'm saving this for winter. I don't know if I can get this to appear.
Yeah, you're all fuzzy this time.
Well,
There you go.
This is a.
It's huge.
It's a stub nib. It's a very large stub nib. So it's a number 86, which we can probably look up. It's got to be about a 1.5 millimeter, I would say.
It's big.
1.4, 1.5. Maybe it's not quite as, because it does kind of taper off. But wow, what a cool pen.
And in gorgeous shape.
Great shape, yeah. It's got one little tiny ding in the cap. I'm gonna see if I can try to move that out, but and I'm not showing everything here. There was there's a couple of these Waterman Hemisphere, and this was actually and Lisa and I were actually talking about Hemispheres just yesterday, Sunday.
Yes.
This was a Hemisphere was my very first modern pen back in 98, 99. Nice gold-plated steel nib. This one actually has an L nib. It says L on it. I'm not sure what that means. It could be for Lisa. It looks broad. The gentleman told me that he thought it stood for large. I don't know. I don't know.
Let me see about that.
Yeah. So hemispheres, what else did we find here? And there is
A couple experts.
experts, Waterman experts, black and gold. Black and chrome experts. And the piece de la resistance is this deluxe. Beautiful, beautiful box. Let's see if I can get it open here. It opens up and it's got
All means
leather,
broad.
the leather
This is cool.
polished cloth. I've got a little leather pouch and this deluxe. I don't know if you can see this cap.
It's very cool.
It's a neat, kind of a ringed.
Was that
Yeah.
more of like a check? It looks like some of it's frosted or engraved.
No, it's a highly polished section followed by a group of engraved lines.
It's cool. If that had a fine nib on it, that would be mine.
Yeah, it's like super double quadruple.
Yeah,
Not fine.
not for me.
But anyway, so that and there were some other interesting pens in there that I just too much to show. But I guess the point is how do, and we've had this conversation before with our good friend Rob Bader. How do you make purchase decisions on large groups of pens?
Especially when you don't have time to do research, find out what each and everything is, what the retail value was, how old it is, examine everything. You've got to make a decision in 5 or 10 minutes, and it's not always easy. Or conversely, if you are trying to sell a group of pens, you may not understand why someone would offer you this much versus that much. So we just thought it might be interesting to talk about some of the ways that people come to the dollar amount.
There are different methods for sure, and this is just kind of the method that I use, because I'm usually the one that buys the pens. And I don't know how many pens were in this lot. It wasn't a huge lot. Maybe 20, 25 pens, 30 pens maybe. Not a terrible lot. So it was manageable, but this method scales. So, and it's a little different being on the retail side because I have to know, are these pens that I can currently buy new? And if they are, I have to know what the retail is. If they are not, if they're discontinued, it helps to know what the retail and the wholesale price is. So that's part of the equation. But the easiest part, and we've been presented with lots before ranging from 30 to 500
Hundreds.
pens. Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of pens. And sometimes you do need to write some things down. And obviously, if you have a larger lot of pens, you do take more time looking at things. But up to 100 pens, you can easily make a decision in a few minutes using this method. The first thing I do is I discount anything primarily that I don't want, or that's a pencil, a ballpoint, or a rollerball, right off the bat. I don't care if there's 500 pens and 495 of them are rollerballs, ballpoints, and pencils. That means there's only 5 that I want, that I will pay for.
Or that are broken or missing a part or need some kind of attention that are not immediately saleable.
Yeah.
With just a minor cleaning.
Right. And some broken pens are still valuable. It just depends. So a broken pen can be valued at 0 because it's it's an inexpensive pen that you're never going to fix. It's going to go in the parts box. Or if it's Waterman 18 with the cracked cap, okay, well, it's still got some value to it. So the first thing you do is you immediately discount all that stuff. And really, kind of what I try to do is I put it off to one side, so I have all the stuff that's of interest without showing my cards. And just count it up.
Yep.
And how many do you have? And try to do it in even dollar amounts. Assume that you're going to need something for every pen. So if you think you would normally pay $50 for this pen, assume something is going to be missing or broken, or you're going to break something if it's a vintage pen on every pen. That way it gives you a little bit of margin in the event that does happen.
Right.
Because if you pay full wholesale price for a pen and all of a sudden you find out you need a converter, or the feed's broken, or something happened with the cap, now you're completely out. If you paid less than that, if you paid 25% of MSRP, then you've got room to fix it. You can add the converter, or maybe you can dig in that parts bin. Modern pens, usually when you're buying in bulk, you're not buying to add to your collection, so you are buying to sell. I look in the 15 to 25% of the MSRP range. That's kind of where I sit, because that way you don't have to put much work. If you can get it for that, you can turn it around and flip it quite easily. But when you're only dealing with, today there was 30 pens, but a bunch of them were cross ballpoints and Schaefer ballpoints, you can easily distill that down, and I think that really helps. I don't know what else I should say about that.
Well,
we talked about this. It seemed like it was.
I don't think we got too in depth, but I could be wrong. The other thing is when you're selling a collection, what you paid for it when you bought it has nothing to do with what someone else is willing to pay you for it. We get people at shows all the time who bring stuff up, and I paid $500 for this Omas, Aurora, whatever. We're not going to pay that same $500. Customer pays retail for a pen, or you just don't get dollar for dollar when you sell it. So I
think particularly if you're selling large numbers of pens, absolutely.
Right.
And that may be the easiest way to get rid of 30 pens, but you're never going to get what you paid for them unless they're rare vintage and you bought them 20, 30 years ago. The modern stuff does not hold up.
With vintage, generally, like if you're at a show or you go into a store, generally the person who is considering buying these has to factor in, assume that the pen is broken, or that the pen will need a new sack, it needs a good cleaning, maybe some nib work, unless it is, just by looking at it, absolutely positively pristine. Even pens with stickers aren't necessarily unused.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother ball of wax too, isn't it? Right? Because it's stickered, but like you say, some people leave stickers on. I mean, I have a custom 74 I've used for I don't know how long, and I still have the stinking sticker on it.
I do.
That goes back to my vintage roots. I just don't take stickers off. I just really don't. I'm so glad Sailor doesn't put stickers on their pens, because that would just be a nightmare.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble.
So yeah, you can sell to another collector who's going to buy it to put it in their collection. Your chances of getting a higher value are much more.
Mm-hmm. And when you, maybe this is also a good thing, when you to talk about, when you go to sell a pen on one of the FPN, Pentrace, whatever, always disclose whether or not it's been used, if it comes with a converter, if you ever dropped it, chipped it, chewed on it, whatever, whether or not it's got the box. Some people don't care. Some people, in high school, I was a pen chewer. Not on my expensive, not on my fountain pens, but, always disclose anything that you would want to know about. So some people do want the box. Some people don't care. But you should always disclose anything that happened to it, whether you are selling just one pen or selling a group of pens. I don't know. And always, when you ship a pen, I know we've talked about this, always empty the ink out first. The pens that we bought today were absolutely pristine. Most of them hadn't even been used. But we have had people bring stuff either to the show or to the store, and either they're trying to find a converter or a cartridge, or they're trying to sell it, and it's still inked. And sometimes it's pretty ugly, pretty messy.
So that's kind of that's the process, at least that I go through in a nutshell. I have a dollar amount of like $20, and at $20, I will buy almost anything.
Really?
Well, that's kind of the number that I use. So like today, I know at $20 I can double my money and sell it for 40.
Okay.
And so that's what I mean. I mean, if I've already factored it at zero, forget it. But most pens these days, if you buy them at $20, it's a good deal. And so that's kind of where I start. So I'll have different tiers. So I'll have the $20 tier. I might have something that's worth 50, and then I go up from there. So I have a couple different tiers where I can just count. Okay, well, there's three pens here that are worth 20 that I'll pay $20 for. There's two that are 50, and then there's one that's 100, and you just add that up, and that's the number you come up with. So, but anyway, so a bunch of Watermans, nice pens. Looking forward to putting those up sometime.
Why don't you tell them about the rest of it?
About the rest of it, there were some cross ballpoints, really nice looking cross ballpoints. Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Schaefer's Slim Targa ballpoint.
That's not it.
A couple of Jinhaos.
That's not it.
A Waterman fake that was made by Jinhao.
That's not it.
I'm running out of pens that I bought. A couple of three Parker 45s.
Brian has this addiction to desk sets. So he comes up, and I knew that this man was coming to the store, and he took the checkbook downstairs, and that was all fine. And he comes up with this.
You gave me the checkbook, so as far as I'm concerned,
that was my first mistake. So he comes up, and he's got this mail bucket full of pens, and okay, this isn't so bad. And then he says, like, what was that? What? And 3 desk sets. So I go downstairs.
3, come on, just 3 desk sets. It's not that
3.
much. 3 desk sets. No big deal. I got all this other great stuff. There was even
the smallest one was like legal pad size.
Well,
the biggest one was ginormous. Well, all right, so maybe it wasn't quite legal pad. The biggest one was easily legal pad size. Heavy, was it gray marble?
Okay, so he
what the heck was that?
All right, so here's how this happened, right? So I come downstairs. I knew he was coming. I asked Dave. I said, "Give me a call when he gets in, and then I'll come down. We'll take a look at this stuff." So the first thing he does,
what the heck was that?
He's got his briefcase on the counter, and then he has these boxes. And so the first thing I see is this. It has to be. It's a
legal pad size.
No, it was bigger than that. It was. It was at least. Oh, I don't know.
Big.
20 inches long, 24 inches long. I mean,
sucker's big.
It's a Parker 45 magnetics. Big, beautiful black slab with 2 Parker 45s with gold nibs. And he's got it in maybe it wasn't that big. It was in probably a 19-inch laptop box. In it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so it was maybe that one was 18 inches, and probably 6-8 inches deep. It's a pretty solid piece of material. So that's the first thing he says, and I just started laughing because I know what you're going to say, and I say, okay, well, let's.
What the heck is that?
So I say, okay, well, let's see what else you got. And then the next thing he pulls out is
a bigger desk set.
It's about the same size. It's in the original box. It's another Parker double, but it's on this beautiful, beautiful piece of marble. Another magnetics, and if you're not familiar with magnetics, it's essentially it's a base that has magnetic for the trumpet, just pretty much snaps into place. This is a double ballpoint set, never been used. Beautiful, beautiful set, thick, kind of a ivory marble. In the box, in the boxes, the cellophane, the whole thing is all there. And I'm like, okay, because I know. Like I might be able to get away with one, but not two. And he says, "Oh, I have one more." He says, and he has this. In fact, it's in the box that it's probably the box that he bought it off of eBay, I think, and it's in the original box from what the guy shipped it to him. And this thing is, I don't know, is this thing 20 inches long? It's big. It's about 5-6 inches high. It's 8 inches deep, and it's this beautiful. It's absolutely stunning gray marble. It has two grooves running the front of the base. It's on marble feet.
Make a good cutting board.
And then it has. Now this is probably from 1920s, maybe earlier. Probably earlier. 2 inkwells that flip up. So the marble part flips up, and then inside is the 2-piece ceramic inkwell. So both of the inserts are in the base, and this thing must weigh 15 pounds maybe.
I didn't even attempt to lift it.
20 pounds. This thing is solid. If you have a big desk and you want to use a dip pen, because that's about all you're going to be able to do with this, this is the base. This is something else. Sight to be seen for sure.
Oh my God.
I'm tempted to put one of these on my desk. I just don't know which one it is.
What? No, these will be for sale. Yes. So, yes.
So I tell the guys, I'm like, okay. We made what was a fair offer, and yes. We're looking at this afterwards. And I told the guys, I said, listen, I don't have a will, so if I don't come back, really, really nice working with you guys. And so I go up and I show Lisa the other stuff. I show her the good stuff first, and that's the other lesson in buying in bulk is you often have to take the stuff you don't want to get the stuff you want.
Yes, we do.
So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take the crap to get the 3 pens that you really want that are valuable.
Wait, hang on, but that's not to say that anything in here was crap, because these were all really nice pens, and these desks are really nice. I just like to give Brian a hard time, but in general, often you do end up with some stuff that is just.
Well, I mean, I may never ever sell all these cross ballpoints. I mean, we probably have 50 of them now.
I'm thinking a big sale. Buy one of these, you get a cross ballpoint for free.
Maybe.
We may have to. But I mean, we bought a huge lot. Where did we get Mr. Peanut? Is that
Mr. Peanut,
47 pounds?
No, Mr. Peanut was in the ballpoint thing that shipped to the store that one time. Those 3 boxes. Yeah.
Okay, so we ended up with purchasing sight unseen, sadly, a big lot that was not nearly as good as we thought. And in it was a Mr. Peanut pencil. So we saved that.
Sadly, I'm not sure what lot you're talking about, because there have been so many that have been not as good as we thought. But you make lemonade out of lemons, but
these were big desk bases. They are really pretty, but you know, we also, those of you who've been to the store, we've got 3 big Parker cases, 6-foot cases that we use as counters in the front of the store. But near the back, underneath the quilt that my mom made, is another Parker 6-foot counter. And in it are desk bases, probably 50 or more.
Did Chris put all of them in the case?
I think so.
There's no more. There's no more boxes anywhere.
We've got a couple Estabrooks upstairs.
We do.
Yes.
This is news to me.
We may have some at home downstairs too, but most of them are in this case. And I've decided that we're going to sell them. And we're going to call it.
Yeah, listen to this, right?
Crap Brian shouldn't have bought. Some of them are actually cute. There's a wooden squirrel.
Because everybody needs a wooden squirrel.
I think there's some bowling pins.
Yeah, there's one with a bowling pin, and I think it has a clock. It's a bowling pin and a clock or something like that. So. Yeah.
There's one cute little marble one with a little man laying on his tummy with one foot in the air. I think he's wearing a sombrero, and it looks like one of the like Chichen Itza or something in the back. There's a temple or a pyramid or something in the back.
This brings back memories of, and there may not be anybody listening that's actually gone back to episode like 10. We had for a couple of episodes, we had the ugly desk set or something like that. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. Yes, I think we may have shown Mr. Squirrel.
We may have shown Mr. Squirrel. There was one, we had one with a seahorse on it or something crazy like that.
It was like clear acrylic, and it was supposed to be sea glass or something. It looked like faux terrazzo.
I think I did show the bowling pin one week.
Yeah.
It was Brian's ugly desk set of the week or something. Yeah, that's way back. I mean, that's like, I think that was like the first 10 or 20 episodes.
And, you know, we're on 192, and we might have run out of ugly desk sets by now.
Well, maybe the scary thing is that we've had them for 180 some episodes.
Yeah. So I think it's time to move some.
I could be wrong. There was somewhere in the first 50 or 75, I'm sure. But
So Brian bought some pens and 3 desk bases that are big and heavy. I threatened to beat him over the head with one. And Chris and Steph decided that one of them would make a really good, I don't remember what they called it.
What was the word you gave me? Cheese plate.
Yeah, it would make a great cheese board. You know, put your cheese and your apple slices or your crackers or whatever on it. It's big. It'd make a great cutting board, except it's weighty.
So if anybody has a desk that's just
dying for a desk base.
You know, the Parker ones are nice. They're very
Lisa
nice.
at andersonpens.com. Make me an offer. I'll make you a really good deal. Please.
I don't think that Parker 45 desk base actually had ever been used.
No, most of these, I mean, the ones we got today were nice, but some of the ones we have are pretty.
We've been buying pens for 2 decades now, and
years,
this is one of the. I don't want to get a negative connotation by saying it was one of the weirdest or strangest lots I've ever seen but it was because everything was, it was what it was.
Duplicate.
There was well, there were duplicates, but they were so clean. There was no question, but and it was weird. It was just,
it's almost sad because you generically, people buy pens, and we as collectors and users assume that, you buy a pen or Justin or Jenny or Ed in the chat or Paul Hurley, you buy pens, and the assumption is you're going to use them. And sometimes when you buy estate lots or, people bring in lots, and there are all these pens that have never been used, still sealed in the sticker. To me, it's almost a little sad that someone generally cared enough to collect these, but never used them. And I know there's a whole big, huge debate between accumulators and collectors and users versus collectors, but
So you're right. I should ink up one of those double desk sets and use that.
No, I think you should sell it. All of them. Soon.
I can't imagine how much it's going to cost to ship these things. I mean, they're
Now,
huge.
you let me worry about that.
I'll let you worry about that. All right.
You let Chris,
Yeah, so
Dave, and I
apparently-
worry about that.
So apparently I talked myself into a desk set email that's going to be coming out.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. People
Crap that Brian bought he shouldn't have. Or something.
help me stay married. So, anyway.
Anyway, so there it is.
But yeah, so we just figured that we would chat a little bit about the retailer side of buying a big lot of pens, and talking about Brian's folly.
You know, but yeah, I can't.
No.
I'm speechless.
It was a good
So-
deal. It was, but I mean, geez, these things are huge. I can't imagine back in the day where this would go. I mean, this would it's bigger than a laptop.
The one's got to be. It's got to be close to 100 years old if it's not older.
Yeah.
You know, it's for dip pens. I don't know. It's beautiful. It's a really beautiful. It's a substantial piece. It's really neat. I'll take some pictures tomorrow. I'll put them on Instagram. I think that'll be
There you go.
the appropriate thing. So fire sale.
So
Buy a desk set, get 10 free ballpoints. There we go.
yeah.
All right,
something.
Justin. Well, we're going to talk to you after the show.
Yeah. Anyway.
So what else is going on? We're going to kind of we got some cool stuff that's coming. Stay tuned over the next week. I think we got some neat stuff in today, but
Yeah,
you know,
we
we should mention. I'll mention a couple things. If you didn't get the mailer today, we have a email that we send out every Tuesday morning. We have a couple cool things in this week that are of interest, that may be of interest. Visconti has officially discontinued the Saturno and the Moonlight Millennium Arc. Those two lines have been discontinued. So we have what we have left. We have marked down, and it is ready to go out the door, including a number 00 Saturno in brown.
Yeah, that's a cool. What nib is on that?
I don't remember.
That's too big for me.
Finer
Anyway.
medium. Yeah. It's a
I don't
great looking pen.
think Visconti. I don't think they realized that they sent us number 00
Yeah. So somebody please buy it before they want it back.
before Brian wants to keep it. Yeah.
So there's that, and then also we had a slew of interesting one-off Japanese pens, Platinum and Pilot, and some Sailor. And of that lot, there are 2 pens left. One of them is a very interesting pen. I'm shocked is still available. Platinum Slim President, and what's cool about it is not a 14 karat, not an 18 karat, not even a 21 karat, but a 22 karat nib.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's the slim version of the full size President, which is maybe an oxymoron, but that's what it is. So there's one of those with the fine nib, and there's also a Platinum Model 22, which is a weird model. Also, I think that also has a 22 karat nib on it. It's also a slim pen, and those are the only 2 pens left. Everything else sold.
Yeah.
So, but they're one off. They're new old stock, never been inked, still have stickers on them and in the boxes. So, if 90s vintage, maybe Platinum is your thing, these are worth checking out. So, that's my sales pitch.
All right. We did find out that Pilot is going to cease importing a couple of their Vanishing Points into the U.S. Pilot Japan is having some production issues. So the red Vanishing Point with the gold trim, the red Vanishing Point with the rhodium trim, and the metallic green Vanishing Point. Whatever we have left is all that we're going to have. So if you've been considering one, I know we've only got one of a couple of them. But they will be discontinued. So
I wonder why they're having I'm just glad it's not the blue one. If the blue one ever gets discontinued, I think I want that one. That's a cool
Okay.
pen.
You know, Father's Day is coming up.
Well, I think that pen is already picked out.
For Father's Day and birthday.
I don't care as long as I get it on Father's Day.
There's a pen that's sitting on Brian's desk that he's just like
it's
looking
the new
at and
de-facto.
stroking every day.
If I had
it.
this desk set, I could put the pen on the desk set, so I wouldn't have to waste so much time opening the box every day.
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
All right. Anyway, so there we go. Anything else? Do we want to end this, do some shout outs, end this up?
We should. So a big, huge, awesome shout out. I think applause is necessary, Mr. Anderson.
Applause?
Hit me. Yep, hit me. Happy anniversary to Ed and his bride, Leslie, my big sister, my pen sister. 20 years.
20 years.
20 years. She has been putting up with that.
Doesn't he?
You know, he might. He might. We'll see. So happy anniversary to Ed and Leslie. Congrats. And that's awesome.
So.
And Carrie in the chat mentioned the new J. Herbin anniversary ink. We did get notice of that. Was it late last week or early this week?
Yep, it was on the blog this morning.
Okay. I don't remember the name of it, I confess.
It's based on the carob. So I can tell you.
It's brown.
It's brown. So what else? You don't need to know anything else. It's brown. You're going to love it. It's just like every
It's coming out in, I think, July.
I can't even pronounce it. Carob de something. CHYP. I don't know how to pronounce it.
We'll look it up. It up. But we did get a notice of that, and we do have it on the blog, and I believe it's coming out in July. It looks pretty.
Yep.
It looks pretty. So this is what, their 5th?
Yeah, July 14th is the date that it's
Okay.
Carob de Chypre. I don't know.
Good luck with that.
The Black Gold of Cyprus is pretty much what it means.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Anyway, so yeah, we got a couple. It'll be here before you know it. I think so.
Mm-hmm. So that's it. I think we should go. We've run over, and now it's time.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Use your pens. Send us a note, postcard, letter, show off your handwriting. We'd love to get snail mail from you. It's Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin 54911.
Check us out on all the social media as Anderson Pens.
Blog is blog.andersonpens.com.
You should check it out. There's cool stuff on there. And the website is andersonpens.com.
Thanks so much for listening to the podcast, everybody. And we will see you next week. And stay tuned tomorrow on Instagram for those pictures of those awesome desk sets.
Awesome. Is that the word you're using?
I think so. Have a good night, everyone.
Awesome. Bye. Awesome.